What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Wait, What Are We Talking About podcast, episode 90. My name is Bret, aka Enigma 9011, and today I am joined by one of my good friends, who's been friends with this guy for a long time, JC, aka Justin. JC, how's it going, man?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm good. I appreciate you hopping on the podcast today. Should be a good catch up, good conversations, I know. But yeah, I appreciate it. Remember, chat and viewers, you guys can catch this podcast live over on twitch.tv/Enigma9011 every other Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. You can join the chat if you're sub. Join the conversation with us. We'd love to have you. If you can't catch it live, that's A-OK. It's put over on YouTube and SoundCloud the very next week, where it's broken out topic by topic and put as one big video and an MP3 for your amusement on the following Friday. Last but not least, #ad merch store and get all of your swag over there. T-shirts, cups, backpacks, and more. Rep the brand. Support us. It'd be greatly appreciated. Artemis, did you have something to add? No, you're good. Okay. So yeah, we got JC on finally. Very excited to chat with him. Very excited.
Is that script, or do you just have that all over here?
All up here. Took a little while to get down. Didn't write it down. Probably should have.
I can't even remember my name now.
Yeah, it took some time. Like, if I went back to maybe episode 10 or so, it's like, oh, no. But yeah, that's just off the top. But yeah, I'm excited to chat with you, Justin. So I guess we'll get right into it. Topic 1 is about you, and it's about your music. I know you've been doing your music, obviously, for quite a long time, but I kind of wanted to learn a little bit more about it. So I guess we'll start at the beginning. How long you've been doing the drumming, doing the music?
Doing the drumming. Actually, funny enough, I bought a drum set.
Okay.
And I was like, wow, that's really cool. So I'm going to start hitting that shit a lot. And I started hitting that shit a lot. And it was a lot of fun. And I was, holy crap, probably like 12.
Okay.
Long time ago.
Nice. All right. Now, I know... okay. Did you go to Wood Road for elementary, or did you go... You did. Okay. So I remember there was the program there that they were, like, trying to figure out, oh, everybody's got to do an instrument, and everybody's trying to... Were you part of the band program there at that time? You were.
I did saxophone.
Oh, yeah.
But in order to play saxophone, you had to start with the clarinet.
Okay.
Because too many people wanted to play the saxophone.
Interesting.
So if you stuck with a year of clarinet, you could then move to saxophone, which I did.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, from there in the band program, did you play drums in band, or was this just all just you?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So just seeing the drum set, you were like, oh, I got to get into that. Was there any other inspirations, whether it was bands or something that you kind of like, oh, that I like so-and-so or whatever it is that you want to try and recapture, I guess?
So it's literally as simple as Brian Walker, who we also went to school with. Just, he kind of fiddled around with guitar when we were really young. It's like maybe 8th grade. And just texted me one day. He's like, hey, man, do you want to start a band? I know your dad has a drum set. And I'm like, yeah, sure. Okay, I guess I'll be your drummer. And that was it. We did the same thing to our buddy Badger, who we also went to school with. We just texted him, like, Badger, we're going to start a band. I don't know how to play drums. Brian barely knows how to play guitar. Do you want to learn bass? And Badger was like, yeah, I'll go out and buy a bass. So he just went out and he bought a bass, and we started making music.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So was this all self-taught, or did you guys eventually go to lessons or anything like that?
Me personally was all self-taught. I'm not positive about the other guys. Yeah. I just know YouTube is a lifesaver. Even back then, back in the dark ages, 20 years ago. But yeah, no, YouTube, you can learn anything off YouTube.
Okay. All right. So you already kind of brought up the band. So when did that roughly start? Middle school or?
So I started making music with these guys right around 8th grade.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And then from there, obviously it's still going today. How's that, like, the progression of that? Like, has it been tough to keep together or kind of keep the motivation for, or has it been kind of always this, like, passion project that you guys kind of always come together for?
So it's definitely, it's not the same as it was. So Music with Friends, which is what I'm running now, is kind of like my passion project, just because being in a band when you're almost 30 is unrealistic, especially if you're not doing it professionally. But I still wanted to make music, and I didn't want to be constrained to like who I'm making music with and what type of music I'm making. Like if I wake up one day and I want to make a country song, I'm gonna make a country song. That will never happen, but it's just a hypothetical.
Yeah,
So yeah, music with friends is it's more of just me. If I have an idea or I want to kind of collab with somebody, I can make it, and it doesn't have to be within the constraints of a band.
okay.
But don't get me wrong, like being in a band was great. We did the whole Top Down Summer thing, which was a band with like all my original guys back in the day. It was a lot of fun. Just we get older, we get jobs,
Mhm.
everybody goes to different parts of the country. It's just really hard and unrealistic.
Mhm.
But the good thing is, I know a lot of the not problem, in Boston Spa High School.
Mhm.
You just get all these people who like they form a band one week, the next week they break up, and then the week after that they make a new band,
Mhm.
and they kind of lose track of their music. I could never do that. Like if I make a song, I like it, I put a lot into that song, and I don't want to ever lose track of it. And luckily, since I've been making music with the same guys for so long, we haven't lost any songs. Every song like that we've ever even thought about still exists. It's still in our library, and that's what I'm working on finally finishing after all this time is and putting out there is just all of these songs that we've just been sitting on for like 10 years now.
Yeah, I think you put out a social post. I don't know how long ago it was, but I think I remember you're like, we have it all here. Is that the main goal, to professionally or at least put these together?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think currently our back catalog is about like 60, 70 songs.
Shit. Okay.
It's a lot. It's a ton. And my goal is just get these guys back because they're the guys that we originally wrote it with. Finally finish them, put them out professionally, and then like once I get that all locked down, maybe I can think about starting to make new music.
Okay. Okay.
But
Yeah.
until I wrap this up, I don't really even want to touch new stuff.
Fair. Okay. Cool. Um, so when you guys started as your own group with Top Down Summer, was there any inspirations band wise that you guys kind of like, we want to be XYZ, or was it a certain type of music that you guys were kind of aiming for?
I think Top Down Summer specifically was more of that pop punk style, just really like Blink 182, Sum 41, all that good old fashioned angsty, whiny stuff. And I say that with love. But it's funny. So like I was saying, we have this big catalog, but it started back in the day when we were like, oh man, we're gonna be like Metal Avenged Sevenfold. So we have all this really heavy shit, and then it's like slowly transformed over time to like the pop punk stuff. So there's a good variety. It's really interesting going back now and trying to finish them up because they're just all over the place.
Out of the projects that you have put out there, do you have a personal favorite?
It's tough. It's tough. I think so. As Top Down Summer, which we did probably, I don't even know the time frame of that, like 2012 to 2014, maybe. We only put out like one physical anything, and it was an EP of 6 songs. That is always gonna have a special place in my heart. I just love all those songs, and I think they still kind of hold up, and they're still very entertaining. So I think deep down inside, those songs will always kind of probably be my top, even though I think we've since written better things.
Okay. Yeah, I remember. What was I think I was actually over for a drum lesson because I had that want to learn, and I remember you guys had the physical CD. I was like, yeah, absolutely, I want to copy this. I think it's still in my room at home, chilling in there. So I gotta grab that at some point. But yeah, in gearing up for this podcast, it was fun going back and like listening to your tracks and seeing obviously the evolution that you guys have had, both musically and with your production wise. What inspired you to take, like, I know you wanted to do the film stuff with your personal career. Was it just a matter of like, I'm already doing this, so why not implement it to the music? Like, how did that connection happen of the video work with the music?
I think it was just out of necessity.
Okay.
And this will sort of touch upon the topic that I was going to bring up later. But yeah, I think it's necessity. As you get older, you still need those outlets that you can express yourself to and kind of like work off stress at the end of the week or the end of the day. So as a creative minded individual, I think there's always just got to be something. And if there's not something, you're just going to lose your freaking mind.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, once again, going through these videos and seeing the growth since, also going back, remembering some of these videos that I happened to be not a part of fully, but being there, like,
Yep.
crap, which one was it? Oh, Just Drunk. Like that one, I had no idea you guys were filming the video for that party. One of the cuts I remember being in. I'm like, oh, who's that dumbass dancing around at one point?
When that video was originally released, let's just say there was a lot of bad in it.
Mm.
So now that we're actually adults, we kind of did a G-rated cut
Yep.
release, which is just us performing. But yeah, we have like 3 hours of head cam footage of let's just say stuff.
Right. Stuff,
Yeah.
things.
No. So we have the G-rated cut, but just know, I still have all that footage.
Of course you do. No.
Mhm.
Somebody's always got blackmail somewhere on me. Fuck. But yeah, that was fun getting that little flashback of obviously that party, that fun time. And then there was also, oh shit, which one was it? It was the one that you did at your work.
Yep.
And you asked me to come help film.
Yep.
Where are you? Stinky Hat. How did I
There you
forget
go.
that name? That was a blast to shoot as well.
That song just holds up so well.
Mhm.
It's simple, but it's just like it feels good to listen to.
Mhm.
And I still love that video too. That video was a lot of fun. That was a good night.
Yep.
That actually, so the most official release that song will ever have was on the album that we just dropped.
Oh, okay.
So that video will come back around in like 3 months,
Cool.
I think. So that is the most official. Actually, so the version of the song that is in the video on YouTube,
Yep.
now out of date.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, I'm not going to change it. I'm going to leave it up there. But so the most official, newest, most professional version of that song is now out on Spotify on our new album.
Go check that out. Nice. So when you're creating the videos for these pieces, is there certain, like, what's the process? Like, how do you decide this is how I'm going to structure the video? This is the kind of theme or storytelling elements that I want to go after.
The answer I'm about to give you is not the answer I want to be giving you.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I put myself in, and this is all self-induced, where I release music and I do a video, one song, one video a month forever.
Okay.
Is my ideal goal. If it's like a song like Stinky Hat where the video is already released,
Mhm.
that doesn't get its own month. That will get kind of like the halfway point of the month and stuff. So to finish up all the videos for this newest album, it was just basically how quick and how dirty can we shoot these videos. And it did not get the time or attention that I would normally like to give a production like that. Not saying that I don't love the videos. I think the videos are fun. I think they're fine. I just think if I hadn't set these guidelines for myself, like, one song a month, also if life didn't get in the way all the time, I would definitely be able to put more into the thought process. As of right now, for this current album, and then unfortunately the next album coming out, it's going to be about what sort of fits and how quick and how dirty can we film this, just to get everybody involved that was originally involved in the song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, understandable. I've heard that with a lot of like content creators, across all mediums, is like you have this vision for it and it sounds kind of wrong, but you settle like, oh, I wanted to do this. Like, you got to get it out, because if you just keep like, oh, I got to do this thing, it's never going to come out. So you got to kind of find that balance, that area of like,
I have not found the balance. I'm still on the side of I'm rushing things too much.
Gotcha.
It's unavoidable.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, so we just dropped an album. The next album will also be rushed.
Uh-huh.
Not the music, but the videos.
Yep.
The album after that, maybe I'll have time
There you go.
to actually put out some good videos.
Yeah, these are the trial ones. There you go.
That's not saying that there's still great videos. You should check them out.
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys just recently dropped a new video for Chinese food. How did that creation come about?
So that one actually is one that I had time to think about.
Uh-huh.
And so that video I wouldn't have changed. I think that video is exactly what it needs to be. It was a lot of fun. And it's just a quick little, and that one was also, it's quick and dirty,
Mm-hmm.
but it is exactly what that song needed. That song itself is one of, it's not the oldest. It's one of the oldest songs we have any sort of recorded physical copy of. That was recorded with myself and another individual who went to Ballston Spa High School, who shall not be named, who ultimately ended up in Cornell.
Okay.
Uh, and it was in 2009, 2010 ish. We had a really rough demo of that, and so it's one of the oldest songs we have. So it's got like a special place in my heart. Obviously, I love that guitar riff. I think it's funky as hell. And I just that is a perfect example of a video that was quick and dirty, but I wouldn't have changed it anyway. Even if I had more time, it would have been exactly the same. Um, Production of that was kind of a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of green screen stuff, which is fine for all the local guys. But Alex, who we also went to high school with, is out in Tennessee. So I basically, anytime he's home, I'm like, dude, give me a day. Get you here. We'll put you in front of a green screen. I'm going to film as much as I can. Just a couple are like all future songs potentially. And release it. And then all the other stuff was just shooting the actual containers and yeah, I mean, that was just, I really like that video. I think that one definitely holds up. I wouldn't have changed anything about that one.
Nice. Yeah, that was going to be my follow-up question because I thought Alex had moved and I was like, is everybody local? How are we doing this? But man, that's always the fun part is like, okay, I want all these individuals involved in this project. Okay, now I got to invite everybody. And then it's a whole, like, you can't, this time works, this doesn't, what the, so especially across states, man, Godspeed.
Yeah. That's why I don't actually, no video will have a full performance shot of all of us together just because we haven't all been together musically in like 6 years.
Gotcha. Wow.
But that's kind of the magic of this is that we don't need to be.
True.
And still put something out where, you know, at the very least, we're all in the video.
Yeah.
We're just not together.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Cool. So I guess 2 more questions. So you mentioned obviously the backlog of songs that you guys have. Is there a future goal past that point? Like, are you guys going to continue? You mentioned collaborating with other people. Like, what's the goal past the backlog for you?
So once I mix, master, produce all the backlog, get a video done for every song, I'm either just going to die.
Okay.
My body's going to be like, all right, bro, we're done here. You're done. I'm going to keep making music, or I'm just going to be done. I honestly don't know. I mean, yeah, I really don't know.
Okay.
I love the people that I make music with to death. They're my family. It's tough. They're all out there trying to do, you know, their own thing, and I'm here like, hey, bro, remember that song we did in high school? Let's keep working on that, and then, you know, let's keep going on that and that and that. So I'm bugging them constantly. We are hitting a point where I will have everything I need from them to finish this backlog, and then, you know, it's up to them. If they want to stay involved, great. If not, I totally understand. You know, we're almost 30. So if they want to go out and be adults, I totally understand. And once I finish this backlog, we'll really have to see. I don't know. I at this exact moment, if the backlog was done, I have more music in me. I know that. But we also, with this backlog, I am planned out till 2024.
Okay.
With music. I have no idea where I'm going to be in 2024.
Right.
I might be just so sick of it that I don't want to touch it ever again.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Right now, I have music in me. We'll see what happens when I finally finish this backlog.
Yeah. So I guess my last question is actually going to branch off what you said. I'm going to modify it up a little bit. So you mentioned like that motivation, the music in you right now. Is there a project that you want to do either individually or just a different project that you kind of want to try and tackle before that motivation goes away? Like, is there any big dream projects?
Musically or just in general?
Let's go in general, because like obviously everything you're doing here, the music part of it and the video part of it, like you can go anywhere with those project wise. So I guess in general, where would you want to, if you had a dream project to work on through either avenue or both, what would you want to do?
Sure. And unfortunately, it all comes down to money. In a perfect world, I have like 3 or 4 just absurd, stupid scripts that I would love to film.
Mm-hmm.
And these are scripts that like me and one other random person out there in the world might enjoy.
Okay.
They're just so ridiculous. They're either just like something I wrote when I was bored or something when I was drunk. I'm like, this is so funny, man. But I would love to make them. But it's one of those things where the scripts are so ridiculous that they need to be high budget to make up for the fact that they're just so stupid.
Okay.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So if I had like money that I could just spend and I bring in the crew, like obviously through the years I've amassed a good connection to like crew. I know local people and I love the way they work. I'd bring them in. I know actors. I know all that. Bring them in just to make these stupid films, but like make them look so good that people are watching them like, what the hell is this?
Mm-hmm.
And how did this get made? And I would love that. At the moment, it's never going to happen. But it's cool to think about, just these stupid little scripts. One of them, weirdly enough, so when we were out in LA, I had two roommates, Jake McAuliffe, who we went to high school with, another guy named Andy Shimmerhorn. And Andy and I were on set of Veep,
mm-hmm.
and it was a long day. It was like 14 to 16 hours.
Dang.
We're finally wrapping after 16 hours. We're in the car. We're exhausted. Everything is funny because we're so exhausted. And we're just driving, and we're like, yo, what if Jake, our roommate, was a duck? And we're like, that's the funniest shit ever. So we went home, and him and I wrote a script at like 4 a.m. about what if Jake was a duck. And the script is called Jake the Duck, and it is spectacular. But it's one of those things. It's just so fucking stupid. Actually, I think we wrote Shia LaBeouf into it.
Of course.
I don't think we can anymore. I think he's canceled. But oh man, if I had a budget, that movie would be so bad it would be a movie.
Cool. All right. Nice. Well, it's been interesting learning more about the projects that you guys have been doing, and I'm glad you're doing them, pursuing them, because like you said, like having those projects, like it feels weird, homework, backlog, but like something to pursue outside of normal life, I guess. Just something for yourself. And like you said, as long as it's giving you that satisfaction of like, this is something I want to pursue, this is something I want to do, then yeah, man, keep doing it, keep crushing it. And if it turns out not to be, and you don't make it through the whole backlog, no big deal. You did it, you're happy with it, then it's the next thing. So awesome to learn more about that. So we're going to move on to topic 2 now. So JC, what is your topic today?
Actually, Bret.
Hey.
Brethaniel.
That's me.
Brethaniel.
That's been a while.
You could not have actually given me a better segue here.
Woo!
So it's no secret that we are approaching our 30s.
Yep.
As a content creator, and you've been doing it longer than me. You have a much bigger audience than me. So let's say I put out an album, and I put out a video for a song. I'll maybe get like 30 views, right? Why do I do this? Because I have this problem a lot. It's more of like it's kind of like an existential thing as I'm getting older. I understand why I finished the music. That's a personal thing. I would love people to hear it, but obviously they don't. That's fine. But I finished this. So with music videos, some of these videos, I'm taking a full day. I'm getting the gear. I'm not paying people lengthily because I have good friends, but I'm getting a location. I'm coming up with ideas. I'm putting a lot of effort into it. Post-production, which you understand, just a mess. It takes forever. And there are some times where I'm just sitting there thinking, why am I doing this? And I would like to talk to you about this as a content creator with a bigger audience than me. I just want to know what you think, because it's just, I know my reasonings. I fight with it from day to day. But I'm genuinely curious what you think as a content creator. And, we're old as shit now. So
you keep saying 30 like it's the end of the line, like you're fucked.
No, that's it. We're done.
Pack it up.
There's nothing else. 30's it.
Oh,
that's
boy.
it. We're done.
So yeah, I like this topic a lot. This has been something I've personally struggled with a lot this past year. And there was a lot of pretty sure posts I've made. I'm like, oh, frustrated about this. Oh, this isn't going well, whatever it is. I think the biggest thing that's helped me, at least this past year, has been my mental attitude towards it. And I'm not saying by any means necessarily like it's easy to do. It's definitely not. But I think that's been something that I've tried to focus on. So for example, I'm a big fan of Kind of Funny. They're a big YouTube group and Twitch group. They do gaming news, etc., etc. I've gone to live events of theirs. I've collabed with other Kind of Funny community members, doing podcasts, doing videos, etc. A big fan of those guys. That is one of the dreams, like, to go work there. So I'm seeing that, and obviously the community has a bunch of people who are this like same mentality. I want to make a podcast, I want to stream, I want to do this, blah blah blah, and they're doing it. Seeing them and their successes or their failures just kind of messed with me a little bit, like especially the ones that are, doing well. Why is this person getting more views than me? Why is this person a partner on Twitch? Why is this person collabing with Kind of Funny and I'm not? I'm over here doing nothing. So a lot of those negative thoughts were like, you can't do this, they're better, blah, blah, blah. After a while, I realized I had to stop comparing, first off, in that light. Comparing can be good, of being like, so-and-so does this really well. They're a really good talker, or they present their shit really well. That's good. Taking the positives that they put out there and applying it to yourself, or being like, hey, I want to strive to do that. Also the negatives too. Maybe they're not the best at commentating while they're playing a game. Maybe they're not the best at organizing, whatever it is. Realizing these strengths and weaknesses and then applying them in a positive direction toward yourself. Not doing what I was doing and doing the negative, like, this, that, the other thing. So it's been a big mentality thing there. And then also not being jealous or petty of their successes. Like, there's some friends that, I've had on the podcast and have talked to at the live events and, had a good relationship with them. And I'm looking at where they are now and I'm like, you started after me. Like, what? And you're up there. And I'm like, So I would say that's one big factor, is just the mental attitude of like, do this for you. This podcast, for example, I haven't really put on podcast services out there. So I haven't like extended those branches yet. Viewership, hit or miss. Some topics hit really well. Some it's like, well, there was a handful. The big thing with this podcast specifically was like, how do I get better at talking? You've known me for years. This was never...
many years.
Yeah. This was never my thing. I was never the most social butterfly, nor will I say I am now, but I feel better than I was. So that was a big thing, is like, how do I improve? This podcast is going to help. I'm going to help by talking myself about things, having guests on, talking with them, whether I know them really well, or this is the first time I'm ever talking to them. So I guess that would be the second thing, is like, do it for you. What are you going to gain out of this personally? And once again, it's not easy to say that and then not see the numbers. But I think if you focus on that and then your positivity, your output, that's going to attract more people eventually to your product than, man, I'm sitting here and I need so many subs to pay my rent or this and that and the other thing. Like, if you're just money, or just growth or whatever, like, nobody feels valued. Nobody sees that genuine part of you. They just see like, oh, well, this is another person just trying to get to the next step, I guess. That was a long-winded answer, but that's part of it.
Bro, I love that. I think mental attitude, especially when it comes to creative endeavors, is so important. It's crazy. I know for me, so like my job right now, I work for the government. It's in a film capacity.
Okay.
Just say that. And this was a huge mistake for me to take this job, because I'm taking what I love and I'm doing things that I hate with it.
Gotcha.
So it's like really like, ugh.
Right.
So if I'm not, and this is the argument I have with myself all the time, is if I'm not making these videos for fun, I'm only doing what I love for things that I hate.
Right.
And like that just if there's anything that kills like creativity in your brain, it's that.
Yeah.
It's like almost like abuse of the things that you love, and it's just like, bleh.
Right.
So I have to make these videos for that reason, but I still have the conversations with myself like, why am I doing this? You know, it's for me, and it's okay. I think it's okay to be that way. It sounds selfish when you say it out loud, but it's like, I am doing this for me. If people see it, cool. If not, that's also cool. It just has to happen.
Yeah.
And that's like, I'll probably be well in my 40s making bullshit videos. Maybe I'll finally make, the Jake the Duck video at 45, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But it's tough. It's a hurdle that I have to overcome, where I'm just like, why am I still doing this? And I'll have good days and bad days. Like, I'll have days where I don't even want to think about it, and that's fine. And then the next day I'll be like, okay, let's pick this back up. Let's make some progress. Let's get to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I totally. I mean, what you're saying makes a ton of sense, man. I really do. I get it.
Nice. Yeah.
Being creative sucks.
It can. Yeah. I definitely agree with you. Like, with you mentioning your current job, like using the things you like, that negative aspect. I had that with, excuse me, when I was working at the Taekwondo school. I was working there during the days, and I was in charge of video stuff. And,
Yep.
Granted, my skill level's like not as great compared to others, but like, that was what I was hired for. You're going to do videos to put up to here, to do this, to show this. Great. The expectation of like, do this really fast, like weekly messages, was always something I had to do. And I'm thinking in my head, I can make this so much more interesting to watch than just a slideshow.
Yes.
But the way that my work was delegated, we want you to make video stuff, but we also want you to call schools, call students, do this thing, go to this after school program. I'm like, those are all great things. Totally agree they need to be done. But I can't do everything here, and then you expect this to be good? Like, So like, it ended up being kind of like a thrown together job of like, all right, Mondays I just got to nail these slideshows out. Then I got to sit here and render, and nobody understands what rendering is. So they're like, why aren't you doing anything? My computer's working. So there was that. And then, yeah, there was other ideas. Like, I know I could do really cool videos showing our forms so people could watch them. Do I get the time to do those? No. It's like, But yeah, also, like you said, taking that break. Sometimes that can be good. Just taking a step away from something and really seeing if you love it. I know it's kind of off topic, but like, back to Taekwondo. That's been something I've realized, like, I miss it. And it's happened a bunch of times. When we moved to California, obviously didn't do Taekwondo out there because I didn't have the finances. So when I came back home,
Understood, yes.
right back into that. And even now, like, I haven't done it for a year with COVID going on and the new job. I was like, I was burnt out a year ago. I was like, I need something different. So then the job happened. But now I'm like, COVID's a whole thing. Like, can't do it now. Things are starting to open back up now and get back to normal. Everybody's vaccinated, things like that. Yippee yay. If I have the time, man, I'd love to do it. I miss teaching, but I don't know if I could do that kind of aspect of it. But at least I want to go in there and hit some shit. And try and, do some cool kicks again, maybe some flips and shit. Like, that I'm missing. So yeah, sometimes, what was it? The heart grows fonder when you're away, or whatever the fuck. Like,
Distance, man. Distance makes the heart grow fonder.
So
True facts.
it could be that just too. Like, if you get to that mindset of like, this is too much, step away. And like, that really shows if it's still important to you. If it's still important to you, it will wrap around. It will come back. So
Yeah, I mean, it's dangerous too. So I'll get an assignment, and they're like, you have to have this filmed, edited, and ready to go in a week.
Mm-hmm.
And as a trained filmmaker, I'm sitting there like, that's fucking impossible.
Mm-hmm.
This is a ridiculous. This can't happen. But as an employee, I'm like, okay. So I start lowering my own standards. I know I can make a video that's this good, but you gave me a deadline, so I can really realistically make a video that's this good. And I have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
But the problem is, once you start becoming okay with this across the board, it's like you've lost all this. I mean, this is good shit.
Right.
And you're down here. And that's why you gotta separate the two. So yeah, I'm gonna, for work, do this. And it's not because I'm lazy. It's not because I'm trying to do a shitty thing. It's just, this is what I can do with what you've given me.
Right.
But I have to know that I can still do this. And I have to still, outside of work, do this.
Yeah.
Because otherwise this is going to go away. And then this is going to become that. And it's just like, bleh.
Yeah. Yeah. I 100% agree.
Tough, and it really is. I think I really need a job that doesn't at all relate to anything I'm interested in. If that makes sense at all. I mean, because I'm a hard worker. If I have a job and an assignment, I'm gonna do it. I don't care if I like it. I don't care if I hate it. I don't care how hard it is. I'm gonna do it. That's just how I was raised. It's how I'm gonna do things. So I really think I need a job that isn't related to anything I'm interested in.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. I know that sounds
No, I totally get that. I mean, that was kind of what the current job is now with the microchips. I'm like, I don't know. Friend said this was available, so sure. I wanted something different. Never thought in a million years I'd be doing this. And then, yeah, I don't know, the motivation for like, I want to keep up a stream. I want to keep a podcast. Because if I'm not doing that, it's like, well, I don't care about the chips. Like, what am I working towards? Like, that's just there.
That's it.
Yeah.
Right there. End the podcast. We're done. That's the title right there. What am I working towards? No, seriously. That's perfect.
Yeah.
That is why I do anything creative. Because if I don't, what am I doing?
Right.
I'm waking up. I'm going to work. I'm paying bills. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
What else? What am I working towards? What am I doing?
Exactly.
That's it. You seriously, you nailed it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have days where it feels weird. Like, why am I, as a full-ass grown adult, still doing this shit? But I need to feel like I'm working towards something.
Yeah.
And my job does not do it.
Mm-hmm.
My job is a mess. I hate it. But hell yeah, man. That's it.
Yeah. Cool.
You're the best therapist I've ever had.
Hey. I'll bill you later for the exorbitant amount of money.
Cool. You got Venmo? I think I got $2 in my account.
Okay, yeah. Oh man. Yeah, that was a great topic. I always love. Oh, yep.
No, I'll keep going. I got a quick little tangent after that.
Okay. I always love talking with people about their creative process and like the struggles there are, because obviously there's a lot, and like anybody can make stuff now, which I mean is great and sucks at the same time, because you're like, fuck. It's such a big world out there, big market, I guess you could say. But yeah, pretty much summing it up, if you're doing it for you and you get something out of it, that's the best. Like, whether it's content, whether it's anything, gardening, painting, whatever the fuck it is, do something for you.
Absolutely. Seriously, just do it.
Yeah.
Do yourself that. You are the master at segueing things.
Okay.
Just want the whole audience to know, I did not tell Bret that I had these like questions in mind. Mm-hmm. Segued very well in the first, and segued very well here. This is just a brief thing.
Okay.
This is more of like a easier going conversation I wanted to have with you.
Yep.
Overabundance of content.
Yeah.
And we kind of talked about this earlier. On my Xbox right now, I have Disney Plus, Discovery Plus, Paramount Plus, Hulu, Netflix, YouTube, all these things. I would love to know your opinion. So now we're not talking about content creators as content consumers.
Okay.
Holy shit. What do you think? Quality versus quantity is just such a thing I think about all the time, because there is just so much shit out there right now. And so I know you do a Marvel podcast.
Yep.
Myself, I'm also a Marvel fan. The Marvel release schedule is fucking ridiculous. I'm sorry to say that. I love Marvel. How is any normal person expected to be able to ingest all of that content? It's ridiculous. No, I get it, because I probably will. Yeah. But I'm going to complain about it. I mean, my fiance is going to complain about it, because I'm going to disappear, like, you're not watching Marvel, baby. But, like, it's just so. And tell me what you think. Tell me what you think.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot. And that's something we've talked about, obviously, or not obviously, but a lot over on the Marvel Plus podcast. You should go subscribe, all that fun stuff. We're coming back on June 13th to talk about Loki. So we talk about that a lot, because the whole show is like, I'll go through the whole plot of the show or what happened, my thoughts, because I'll take notes as I'm watching it too, my thoughts of like, oh, this is this person's doing this, blah blah blah. We'll go through that whole thing, and then we'll go through theories afterwards. The more we get with Marvel specifically, the more I feel like Charlie Day in front of that board with all of the strings, like, I can't imagine. Now, I've never been like super into comics. Like I love the 90s Spider-Man and the 90s X-Men. Like I have peripheral knowledge, I guess you could say. Like I've delved
You
into
and
it
I
a
right
little
now,
bit.
we're-
But yeah, I've never been like, oh, issue 1 of Gambit. What the fuck, you know?
Of course,
Yeah. So like I feel I have a better understanding with the peripheral knowledge of like, oh, this is so and so who's connected to this person and this. But I cannot imagine as a general audience how the fuck anyone is keeping this together. We just had a 21 movie saga with a man snapping his fingers. And now you want to add all these shows and all this other stuff along with the movies. Like, I mean, that's my job to try and explain. Okay, so this is somebody. But man, that's got to hurt your brain. And my girlfriend has not seen the Marvel movies. She has no interest. She wants to try.
How are you two in a relationship?
Good question. No.
It's only what's it say? It's only 21 movies, Brett. What is that?
Come on.
Like 42 hours worth of content.
Nothing.
Nothing.
So we've talked about watching them because I honestly want to do a rewatch personally, and
Good.
I'm like, I don't want to do it without you. Like I could do it at any time, Disney Plus or the DVDs, Blu-rays, whatever. I want to do it, but I want you to be involved. And she's like, okay, I'll try it. We haven't yet. We haven't gotten to the full like push play kind of thing, but she's like, I'm gonna try it because I know you really like this stuff. I don't think she's going to like it. I can tell her now. I'll be lucky if we make it through phase 1. But, like, for her...
You got to make it to Ant-Man, because obviously Ant-Man is the peak.
Ant-Man's the peak? This was something you said years ago, too. And I'm like,
I stick with it, bro.
Still? We saw Civil War together, and you're still putting Ant-Man over there?
I'm not saying Ant-Man the movie is the peak.
Okay.
The character. Ant-Man's a cinematic character, because the comic character is obviously way darker.
Depending on which one we're going with, yeah, true.
Yeah. But no. All right.
Yep.
No, you go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, pretty much on that Marvel spectrum, I have no idea how the general audience does it. On another perspective of like all the content, like you listed all those streaming services. I don't know. There's a lot of shows and like, this is a really good show. This is a great show. Like, for example, Breaking Bad. I've heard really good things about that. Never seen it.
You have not watched Breaking Bad?
No.
What the hell?
See, and then this is the reaction you get.
That is the best television show in my lifetime.
Okay.
Hands down.
Okay.
Just from a production standpoint, a writing standpoint, an acting standpoint, it doesn't get better.
Okay.
Get your shit. Go ahead, Brett.
Sorry. So I feel,
Anyway, okay.
I feel there's a lot of shows out there, obviously, that have these attractions. Game of Thrones was another one. Now, granted, on the finale, I get it. A lot of people didn't like it.
I haven't watched
You didn't?
it.
I haven't watched any of it. Okay. See, I was on the same. I was on
Yeah.
the same boat for a while. Kate and I started dating. She was like, "Hey, this is a thing I'm really into." I was like, "Sure, I'll give it a try." And the whole time, like, I fell in love with it. And she was having a blast because I'm over there being a dumbass, like, commentating the whole thing, like, "Oh my god, this," and she's like, obviously she knows what's happening, so she's getting a kick out of it. But Game of Thrones, I was late to. Breaking Bad, like I mentioned, I haven't watched. There's like so many shows out there. Along with the shows, there's so many movies out there I haven't seen. It's like, I don't know. You got to kind of pick and choose your battles and say, fuck the rest, man.
But see, as a content consumer,
Yeah.
which I went to school to be able to consume content.
Yeah.
It almost kills me inside to know that I have to purposely miss things
Yeah,
because there's just not enough time in my life
right.
to consume all of the content out there. Plus, with all of these separate streaming services now, they're mass producing things.
Yeah.
And it is all about quantity over quality. They're like, I don't care how good this is. We need our streaming service to have stuff to watch. So
Right.
just, I don't know what it is. Put it out there, make it watchable, bada bing, bada boom. And it's so frustrating. It's just so frustrating. $1 million idea, and then we can end it here. This part, you know, take all the streaming services, make one company that gives you access to all of them, and rebrand cable and they won't know. The consumers won't know the difference.
Oh.
So like, you basically just recreated cable,
Yeah.
but with streaming services, and they'll pay top dollar.
Right.
So there you go. Anybody who wants $1 million idea, that's free right there. That's free brain.
Yeah, to keep on this point just for a little longer, I think the way I've been able to make those decisions of like where to cut it, you do the toe in the water. You watch an episode or two. If you feel compelled, like, this is my shit, I'm going to go through it, then you go. I know it's tough, but if you have that time to dip a toe, go for it and then make your decision.
I think it's impressive that you can dip a toe, because if I dip a toe, I'm going full nude swimming.
Gotcha.
I cannot just start and stop.
Okay.
Never have I been able to do that. Even if I start and I'm like, this is trash. I hate this. Now I need to finish it.
Interesting.
I can't.
Is it like, does it make you feel more valid that you didn't waste your time if you finish it, kind of thing?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think it's a character flaw,
Okay.
personally. Or I'm just like, all right, I know I'm gonna hate this. I know I'm gonna be miserable, but I have to do it.
Okay.
I have to finish this.
Okay.
And it's another thing too. So my fiance, she is a passive watcher.
Okay.
I can never be a passive.
Oh, like she'll do something else while it's on?
So she's like, oh, I'm gonna work. Let's put something on in the background.
Okay.
And I'm like, what do you mean? So she'll be like working and she'll put hoarders on, and I'm not getting any work done because I'm like, yo, what is this person doing in their house? Like, I cannot be a passive. I'm an active watcher, and I can't start and not finish. That's just the flaws of the way that I am.
Yeah, see, I can do the passive thing if it's like a show I've seen before that I love, like Office, How I Met Your Mother, like those kind of shows I can just have in the background for noise and enjoy it. And same with like streams. Like if I'm playing a game, 90% of the time there's a stream on also. And I'm just like, this is noise, yeah. You know, just and like the game too, though, like that's another thing we could talk about with the passive list. Like if it's a game I know, like I'm not super invested in the story, or if it's like one of those games where it's like it's either super long or it's grindy, or like you don't have to be 100% invested in what you're doing because it's not the most compelling story, whatever it is, that's when the stuff is on. But if it's like, holy shit, this is God of War and this is amazing, no, that's all my attention. So, yeah.
All right, give me 60 seconds. I hear my dog barking. I just want to make sure she's all
good. Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Cool. So, yeah, I don't know, chat and viewers. It's fucking nuts. Like JC said, there's so many streaming services, and they keep adding more. Like, I feel that I talked about it on a previous episode where there was these list of movies that the New Day had watched from WWE, and they were talking about it like action movies from the 80s, etc. And I was like, I want to watch these. I don't know. Sometimes when you get to it, it's just like, I don't feel really compelled to watch that when you have the time. It's like, I'd rather play a game, rather watch something else, or sleep. I don't fucking know. So yeah, it's interesting how people balance it, and I don't know. Like, I'm sure there's good shows out there that I'm just completely missing out on. Like I mentioned Breaking Bad, but like at some point you got to call it. Like JC said, there's no way in this lifetime you're gonna have enough time to consume everything. It's nuts, that balance of like, is this something I really want to watch, or do I want to do something else? It's insane. Stupid streaming services. So, I don't know.
This will probably touch too much on any other podcast. Are you excited for Loki?
Yes, I am.
Are you?
Yes. The reason I'm excited for Loki is because I feel it's going to make more interesting conversations like WandaVision did. Now, WandaVision, I covered all the episodes. I did it in this podcast. And I was doing 2 per topic because it's every other week. Yep. I liked the mystery element of it, of like, we have no idea what the fuck is going on here. So I feel like Loki will give me more of that, while Falcon and Winter Soldier was, for the most part, more streamlined, like point to point. There was a couple things that, like Agent 13, not Peggy, Sharon, and the Power Broker. Like, those were the mysterious elements of like what's going on here, along with Julia Dreyfus's character at the end. So yeah, I feel.
Julia Louis.
Thank you. So I feel like Loki will lead to a little bit more interesting conversations because obviously the time travel aspect of it, or sorry,
Dimensional.
thank you, dimension travels.
Yeah.
And also like this is a Loki that stemmed off of Endgame. Like original Loki gone, dead, good guy.
It does not stem off Endgame. This is Loki that stems off the end of the first Avengers.
Well, okay, but we saw in Endgame how he took the Tesseract.
Saw in Endgame, right?
Sorry.
But character-wise,
yeah,
this
is still evil Loki, not the
Yes.
good guy we got eventually after faking his death in Dark World, and then the redemption where he got choked out. Yeah, so it's the element of playing with the OG Loki, this new Loki, and like, okay, where are we going from here? Which I mean, yeah, he's back and not dead officially, but yeah, now we got all this growth we did have, not there anymore. We could deal with that. So, yeah.
Here's my problem.
Yep.
And it's sort of this relates. As somebody who can only consume so much content because life, I want content that directly progresses that story.
Okay.
And since this is technically a branching timeline, maybe it could be different.
Right.
From all perspectives right now, it seems like branching timeline. I don't care.
Okay.
So I want to move this story along.
Yeah.
And so will I watch it? Yes. Am I excited for it? Meh.
Okay.
I'm excited for white-haired Owen Wilson. I think that's crazy. I think that's cool. Other than that, meh.
Okay.
That's just kind of where I'm at with it.
Fair.
I'm gonna watch it, without a doubt.
Right.
But will I be happy about it? No.
We'll see. Okay.
It's probably going to be really good.
So I totally agree with what you're saying there. I have two follow-up questions. First one's a quick one. The What If series. Do you have any interest in that?
Absolutely not, and I'll tell you why. The big thing is it's animated.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know why that, and this is nothing against animation. I know it's an incredibly crazy talent to have, and it's something I can never comprehend. That makes it less interesting to me. In the Marvel timeline, like I'll still go back when I'm bored and watch SpongeBob. I love cartoons, don't get me wrong, but you put it in a Marvel timeline, I am significantly less interested in it because it's animated, and I have no explanation as to why that is. Right. I couldn't. I know it makes no sense. I actually, that one I will not watch, most likely.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, and then second question. You mentioned Loki obviously not progressing the story. I'm gonna possibly.
Right.
I'm gonna take the ball and move it over here.
What kind of ball is this?
I don't fucking know. I'm gonna take the ball, move it over here to Black Widow.
Over here. Yep.
First off, any interest?
Oh boy, you're gonna make people hate me, Bret.
No, because you're gonna hate me after I bring something up. But
Black Widow, 100% should have her own movie. 10 movies ago.
Yeah.
So in terms of a storyline and character development, she didn't have a ton, but she had enough that led to her death.
Right.
That's the end right there. To then bring in a whole prequel movie, I don't mind prequels sometimes because they fill in gaps. This isn't a gap that we necessarily even needed to fill in. But she's dead.
Right.
Her movie should have come probably after Iron Man 2 to give a little bit of background. Okay, she showed up. Who is she?
Right.
Oh shit, she's a badass. That's awesome. Let's bring her with us. I don't know how to phrase this without. It's just Marvel's like, oh shit, we need women leads.
Okay.
Which is something they should have been doing from the beginning. They're like, oh, we didn't really set up any. Let's take a dead character and give her her own film.
Okay.
This movie should have happened 6 movies ago. Am I going to see it? Yes. Will it be good? Probably. Is it necessary? Absolutely not.
Now this is where I'm going to kick the door in.
Hit me.
I totally agree with what you're saying, 100%. Should have been a while ago, whether it was Iron Man 2 or even post-Civil War, because that's when this takes place, apparently.
Yeah.
My thinking, and I've said this for a while, why the fuck are we making this movie? No. there has to be a reason. There has to be some element. Now, hear me out. There has to be some element that is progressing the main thing forward. Now, do I know what the fuck that is? No. Is it we're replacing ScarJo with her sister? Whatever. I don't personally care about it. I'm sure she's a great actress. I'm sure the performance will be great. Whatever. I don't get that. Why are we just going whoop and replacing her? I get the whole Black Panther thing. That's a whole separate thing. Whatever. But
outside back.
But this seems odd. Just whoop. Here's a new Black Widow. Okay, so that could be first. Second, is Taskmaster so important to the overarching story that we need to introduce him? Am I happy about that? Yeah, Taskmaster's kind of cool. But that's so weird. Like, there has to be something that is so damn important in this movie that we're putting out now, unlike what you said before. Like, why? Just... That was a beautiful... Well, not beautiful because she was dead. But that was a good send-off.
She sacrificed herself.
Yeah.
Bret, here's the problem that I see with what you're saying.
Yeah.
Is you're clearly a glass half full kind of guy.
Okay.
Whereas I'm a glass half empty kind of guy. And I know Marvel's like, we need more females.
But they're getting that. You have Miss Marvel. You have Monica from WandaVision. We got that. We have Kamala Khan coming out in Disney Plus.
But you're talking TV shows.
Well, Monica's going to be in Captain Marvel 2, and then so will Kamala.
Well, it's what is it now? The Marvels or
the Marvels or something like that.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But so Black Widow was filmed even before that was a thing.
True.
So my pessimistic viewpoint is they're like, oh shit, we have a bunch of white dudes. We need more than white dudes. We have like 3 female characters. Mm-hmm. Let's make a movie. I think, this is just what I think from my pessimistic viewpoint, you're going to be very disappointed because they're using Taskmaster as a throwaway villain. He's going to be in this movie. He's going to die. He's going to be imprisoned. Who the fuck knows? Mm-hmm. You're never going to see him again. Mm-hmm. He's not going to matter. None of this is going to matter at all, except for maybe introducing our sister. Maybe.
All right.
David Harbour.
Yeah.
From Stranger Things. He's going to die.
Oh.
And I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to be so pissed because he looks great in those trailers.
Yes. Yeah. Red Soviet or whatever.
WandaVision is proof that, and not that there needed to be proof, but all movies and everything is proof of concept because money, yada yada yada. WandaVision is proof that you can have a compelling, badass, female-led storyline without she's a badass. She was going through real life shit. Yep. She just has powers.
Right.
I mean that was a great story. So this is easy, but it's something that they've just never really experimented with, except for Captain Marvel, which is a trash movie. But anyway, I'm so frustrated. I'm gonna see it. It's probably gonna be great. I think it's gonna be inconsequential at best. I think that's what this movie's gonna be. I would love to be proven wrong. Mm. I'll come back on this podcast after I've seen the movie and be like, Bret, you know what? I was fucking wrong. David Harbour still died because he's gonna die.
And then I'll
he's
cry.
Not gonna live in the movie.
Yeah, I'm interested. I'm definitely interested to pick your brain about it because I mentioned Civil War earlier when we saw that. We had a very interesting discussion after the movie at your place. So I'm excited to talk more Marvel with you after that movie.
Forgot, yeah. You, me, Jay McCullough in LA, we saw Civil War.
Yes, sir.
I've actually, my opinions have changed significantly since then.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. And just so at that time, I was really hating on Bucky.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, I'm glad Iron Man blasted his fucking arm off.
Yeah.
Because fuck that guy. He killed his parents. I've warmed up. I understand it was brainwashed, but yeah, man.
Cool. All right, everybody mark it in your calendars. After Black Widow, we're going to recap.
I will text you when I see it, and we'll figure out. And we might have to wait 6 more years. But yeah, I'll definitely.
Yeah, awesome. All right. So moving on to topic 3, maybe topic 4 at this point. We got the lightning round Q&A. Viewers, if this is your first time watching or listening, I'm about to take JC through the lightning round of questions. I'm going to ask him a series of questions. He's going to answer with the first thing that comes to his head. If he wants to elaborate on any answers, he's more than welcome to, but he can just leave it at the answers. This is just something for you guys to get to know him a little bit better. JC, are you ready?
I don't know.
Nothing too difficult. Don't worry. All right. First question is favorite color.
I'm colorblind.
Yeah. As soon as that came out of my mouth, I'm like, oh, you idiot.
That was a trap. Well done. You know.
Woo!
Good. It's good. All right. Well, we're done here. I'll see you later.
All right. Cats or dogs?
No, but I will answer
Oh,
that.
yeah, go ahead.
I am apparently very partial to like dark blues, as you can see by
The wall.
my walls.
Mm-hmm.
Very pleasing to a colorblind palate. My colorblind palate.
Cool. Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Okay. Favorite game?
What type of game are we talking about?
Board game, video game, whatever you want. Or physical, like sport.
You made it complicated.
I like making things complicated.
It's a tie between the original Roller Coaster Tycoon
Ooh, nice.
and Catan.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you were a Catan fan.
Yeah, that's my joy in life.
Okay.
One of those two.
Cool.
Oh.
This one might be another tough one. Favorite movie?
All right. Weirdly enough, and I don't know that I can stand behind this. The first movie that came to my mind was Eternal Sunshine.
Okay.
With Jim Carrey and the girl from Titanic. Oh man.
Yummy.
I don't know that I can stand behind that, but that is the first movie that came to my mind.
Okay.
So let's go with that for now.
Mm-hmm.
And if something changes later, I'll let you know.
All right. Sounds good. Favorite type of music?
I can't even give you an answer for that.
Fair. Papa Griffin chat says Kate Winslet was from Titanic.
Thank you. Yes. If you haven't seen the movie, check it out. Seriously, really, really good movie.
All right. Favorite song?
Well, my iTunes will tell you it's "I Hate Everything About You" by 3 Days Grace.
Okay.
It's because I listened to it so much in high school.
Yeah.
But I think, in all honesty, it's got to be "Iris" by the Goo Goo Dolls.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was your dream job when you were a kid?
Filmmaker.
Okay. If you could have any animal to be a pet, what would it be?
Red Panda.
Nice. If you could meet one celebrity, regardless of status, alive or dead, or level of their celebrityness or famousness, who would it be?
So, I've actually met quite a few. But I did not meet Tom Hanks. And I would really love to just sit down with a dude and talk.
Okay. Favorite season?
Winter.
Favorite holiday?
None.
Okay. All right, we got 2 more questions. What is a skill you wish you could have?
I wish I could be a better singer.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then last one might be a little tough because our pre-podcast conversations, but what is a video game that you would recommend I play?
Have you played Fallout 4?
I have a little bit, but I have not played all the way through.
I really do. Fallout 3, Fallout 4 are just spectacular games. Other than that, Roller Coaster Tycoon, the first one, like the OG, and there was like 2 expansion packs.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't played that, seriously, just the best game probably ever.
All right.
It's so good.
Nice.
Now they made a mobile port. Don't play that.
Okay. All right.
Like the original, if you can download like a
might be on Steam. Yeah.
ROMs or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Like emulate it.
Oh no, it is on Steam.
Okay.
Because I have it on Steam. The original, there was 2 expansion packs. You can get it. Best game ever made.
Cool.
Hands down. Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, chat, viewers, this has been another episode of the Wait, What Are We Talking About podcast. My name is Bret, aka Enigma9011, and today I was joined by JC, aka Justin. Justin, thank you for hopping on the podcast today, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, man. Been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Sorry that it took, 6 years, but
yeah,
actually, this is only the second time I've even appeared on one of your streams.
Yeah, you guys came over once in California, and then, wow, holy shit.
I've known you for like 15 years.
It's been a while.
Probably more than that. I remember you and your Frosted Tips days.
Oh.
That shit was good. They were Frosted Tips, right? I know you had the spiky hair, but they were frosted.
I didn't do spiky hair.
Am I making that
No,
up?
I didn't do spiky. No,
Yeah,
I start growing.
yeah. Don't make me go pull a yearbook.
I don't think I did. I had short up until 5th. I grew it out in 6th through middle school. Chopped it in 8th. And then I had...
That you did spiky hair for a while.
I mean, I have all the yearbooks. I'm pretty sure I don't. I didn't.
Like anywhere from like 3rd to 5th grade, you didn't do spiky hair?
3rd to 5th?
Yeah.
I might have like once or twice, but I don't think it was like a regular thing. I don't know. I don't think so.
If I'm making this up, then David Harbour might not die.
Oh boy. But yeah, we'll have to definitely get you on more streams, whether it's the podcast again or Extra Life. Extra Life's always a big one that we have. A lot of people over. So
one time I will make it on there. I swear. I'm always watching, but it's just there's always. But yes, I will. One of these days, I will be there.
Cool. Awesome.
For sure.
Awesome, man. Chat and viewers, if you want to catch this live, you go over to twitch.tv/Enigma911 every other Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. You join the chat like Papa Griff today if you're a sub over there. If not, you can lurk along and listen. That's totally A-okay. If you can't catch it live, that's A-okay as well. You go over to YouTube and SoundCloud the very next week where it's broken out topic by topic and put as one big video and MP3 for your amusement on YouTube and SoundCloud. And then last but not least, hashtag ad merch store and get all of your swag over there. T-shirts, cups, backpacks, and more. Represent the brand. And rep us, that'd be greatly appreciated. JC, appreciate it, man. Thank you for being on the podcast today.
Love you, brother. Thank you.
Love you too. All right, chat, listeners, viewers, thank you guys for hanging out, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.